What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. We have finally had our August edition of our Forza monthly live stream, and although it was a very short segment on the Motorsport series, we did get some new great information on the game that I can't wait to talk about. It was once again Chris Esaki doing the interview along with Leah, and the biggest topic was multiplayer. And with that, I am going to sort of split up the different types of multiplayer. But before we can get to that, every single player will race in the qualifier series. If you guys did not catch the Forza monthly live stream, I suggest you go check it out. Chris does give a very detailed description of how multiplayer works in the new game. But to sum it up here, the first time you go into featured multiplayer on Forza Motorsport, you will be entered into the qualifier series. This is a series every single player will be entered in the first time they go to do a featured multiplayer race. The best way to describe the qualifier series is basically like an intro to all of the new rules, all of the new regulations that Motorsport has implemented. If you guys have been playing Motorsport 7 at all lately, you would know for a while now there has been the beta version of these regulations. It's given us a good idea of what they're going to be like, but they are going to be in full effect on this new game. So like I said, it will be an introduction and it will help you get used to all of these regulations, rules, penalties. It will basically give the game a good reading on you and how you race in order to put you in the correct category, the correct matchmaking, just help you find the drivers best suited for you to have the best racing possible. One of the amazing things that all of these developers have been doing all of this time is actually providing the most realistic experience you can get in this game. All of the tracks at launch have been reprogrammed, redrawn, and set with new limits in order for us to use up more of the track. In the past, a lot of these tracks would have tire walls put up, invisible walls, guardrails, fences, a lot of stuff to basically keep us on the track. Well, we don't really need that anymore. These new regulations, along with the new track layouts, are going to make for some of the best racing we've ever had in a Forza game. With the new technology implemented in this game, there are over 5,000 different types of incidents that the game can recognize, including cutting the track, dirty driving, intentional collisions that can result in time penalties and even disqualification if severe enough. Now we're starting to creep into the real sim racing category. I'm sure in past years, a lot of you have entered into these Motorsport 7 races and have been trolled and taken out of the race and just have struggled to find good groups of people for clean, competitive racing. I know I have, and we are finally heading in the right direction. Before we get into the two types of multiplayer events there are, I want to briefly mention the one we are not going to get, at least at launch, and that is split screen racing. One of the things I thought would be the simplest thing to do. We are actually surprisingly not going to have it at launch. Me personally, not a huge deal at all. I can think of maybe one or two times in my entire life that I did split racing on Forza Motorsport. But the two things we do have in featured multiplayer are going to be spec racing and open racing. To a lot of you veterans of Forza and other racing games, obviously you already know what this means. Spec racing more geared towards GT, touring cars, basically real motorsport racing. Whereas the open spec, there are restrictions you have to meet, but you can grab any car you want, build it, tune it, and go out there and compete with everyone else. Whether you participate in spec racing or open racing, you will follow the race weekend structure, and this is actually something I'm extremely excited about, especially since this structure is not implemented in the single player. Something I was very excited about was the fact that all of these events are live events. They are timed events, they are scheduled, there's always going to be something to do. And this is going to be really great in the future for league racing, but I will save that topic for another video. So what is the race weekend structure? Every single participant is going to start out in open practice. Very self-explanatory. Learn the track, tune your car, put some laps down, and when you're ready, move on to qualifying. Yes, we actually have qualifying now. You have a set number of laps to qualify, put down your fastest time. I'm not sure how many laps that is, but still, it's there. I'm happy about it. And after qualifying, obviously, you move on to the featured race. The race weekend structure is nothing special. It is something very simple, yet it's something we've been lacking. And finally, we are going to be on the same level as so many other sim racing games out there. Gran Turismo, Assetto Corsa, iRacing. We are going to be right up there with them now, and I am super stoked about it. And speaking of iRacing, we've actually taken notes from them, and now we are going to implement a driver safety rating. Yes, the time has come where your actions on the track are really going to matter, especially when it comes to matchmaking. If you're out there spinning people out, wrecking people all over the track, you may be paired up with a bunch of 8-year-olds. But if you are clean, consistent, and respectful on the track, expect to be put with drivers just like you. Whether you're doing spec racing or the open racing, every single week there will be new events and series to join and participate in, and that will allow you to master different cars at different tracks. Of course, we can't end the video without talking about one more type of multiplayer racing, and that is private lobbies. When setting up a private lobby, you can choose from circuit racing, timed, multi-class, and even meetups if you're just trying to get out there and drift around with the boys. No matter what you want to do, the amount of detail that goes into these race setups is more than we've ever seen. And if things do get a little bit rough with your friends on the track, don't worry, because these private lobbies do not affect your safety or driver ratings. So no worries there. Go out and thrash with your friends as hard as you want. When you're ready to take it serious again, your rating will still be where you left it. That is going to be it for this video, guys. There was a lot to go over when talking about multiplayer, but I did try to sum it up the best way I could, the most simple way I could. So hopefully you found this video helpful. If there are more questions you have or other things you want to know, or if there's anything I missed, please feel free to go down in the comments and type it out. I will definitely read it. I always read the comments. Sometimes it might take me a day or two to get back to them, but I am always there checking it out. I love to see it. Thank you guys again very much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.